Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Valorant stream. My name is Andrew Eden, and I go by Burger Online. I'm a senior studying astrophysics here at Florida Tech, and I'm joined by.
Hi, my name is Juan, known by Corn Online. I'm also a senior, also studying astrophysics here at Florida Tech. And today we're gonna watch Florida Tech versus Georgia Tech Blue, featuring our Varsity Valorant team.
And it looks like our first map is going to be Split.
Thoughts about a split?
Split, still quite new to the metagame, all things considered, after the revamps of the map. But it's still a fun map. A little bit defender side heavy, but there's a lot that can be done here with so much new things, new shifts in the meta. So I'm excited to see it being played here. And looks like Florida Techs are going with a Yoru.
Ooh, that's weird to see in every single map. Yours is not a hot pick duelist, and in this split, as you said, like meta is changing, like the meta hasn't settled down, so we don't see a specific sentinel. Some people like to play Cypher, some people like to play Killjoy. As we can see here, we have a Sage.
I think Sage is pretty strong here in the current state of Split. Holding middle is an essential part of this map, and being able to just wall it off with Sage is huge for a lot of teams.
Absolutely, and also the possibility of plays in B side and in A side with the Sage. Especially in B right now, you can use a wall to cover a view from heaven to main.
Yeah, and looks like Florida Tech here is starting on the defense side, and we're gonna have to wait and see where Georgia Tech decides to go. Looks like they're gonna go for a little mid push here. We're seeing those Astra stars and maybe a mid and split to A. We're seeing some little bit of action here happening on side. It just looks like a split coming from a couple of different angles. Satanic Monk getting scanned by the KO dart, decides to back off, but loses vision of mid, so he's not sure if anyone passed through or not. A lot of shots being traded back and forth, but no big action yet. Smokes on all sites. All sites are being pressured here by Georgia Tech, but Florida Tech just waiting for contact, and Georgia Tech B gets the first kill here onto Juzi.
Confusing name, by the way.
Right there.
Yeah. Looks like contact's gonna happen here in the smoke. Reskop getting a kill. Headshot here with the classic, narrowing down to 4v4. And now Florida Tech going for a retake. Sat with a really nice shot there with the classic. Decides to bird out onto site. Plant being delayed here. Georgia Tech and Florida Tech just going onto site, getting killed by kill. We're down to one player here. Georgia Tech Chocolate in heaven does make some pressure, getting 2 kills. Enrique here's the drop and gets the kill. Good start here.
Good start from Florida Tech. They get picked at the start. Georgia Tech gets the first kill onto Killjoy, and Florida Tech manages to equalize the things when pushing back into side. We saw how Sad gets the high ground, manages to kill Mafu, and Mafu loses all the controller ability. Then Florida Tech has free entrance basically. While Sage is a good pick, as you said, as a sentinel, she doesn't have a lot of options other than the wall and the slows. It's not like an arbor that can give you information, or a turret, or even a nade.
Looks like contact straight off the bat here by Reskop on the B side. Reskop and Sage getting a couple kills, but Georgia Tech getting trades in, but Florida Tech here is on top in terms of numbers with a 3v1 here.
Cutting through.
One player left from Georgia Tech side. Florida Tech has no clue where they could be. Juzi trying to make some space mid. Just a couple shots being traded, and Satanic Monk gets the 3rd kill for the round win.
Absolutely amazing job by Florida Tech. They managed to get the counter push. While Georgia Tech tried to do a death ball, trying to get as much people into side as possible. Florida Tech manages to counter that with having those specters into side, just pushing everything. They do manage to get 2 kills, but at the end of the day, for Florida Tech, this is a win. So
yeah, a lot of good start here from Florida Tech, but now Georgia Tech going in with the economic advantage. We're going to see what site they try to push. Looks like they go for rapid aggression here into A with the Viper Orb, but that might just be distracting. Nope, the entirety of the team is there. Enrique with the clone, but pressure also happening mid by B. Satanic does get out with his life. But now Florida Tech's kind of cornered off. Enrique does manage to get out with the Yoru TP, but he leaves the rest of the team to defend themselves. A trade going in for Juzi by the kill of Youngfish. And now it's down to 2v2, but Juzi has Spike. Enrique has to make a play here to move back into position with Juzi to hold this Spike. Juzi does get a weapon upgrade here, and alarm bot triggered. Knows where at least one of them is. Knows where both of them are. But B gets the trade, and now down to a 1v1. Enrique here. Here's the footsteps. Gonna have to play really slow here. A knife scan does go through. He can hear that, but it doesn't
30
scan
seconds
him.
left.
And here he just has to hope he can get a good timing. Gonna wait for the plant sound.
Spike planted.
Peeks, doesn't find anyone. But he knows pretty accurately where the spike is. But B is there and is ready for the shot. And gets a 4 kill to close the round.
you know, this was a bonus round for the side of Florida Tech, so it's normal that we see a loss. But at the same time, really good push that they managed to do. They tried to get those fights in close encounters, take advantage of the range disadvantage that they had. But at the end of the day, Georgia Tech manages to get those picks, and we saw Enrique trying to get the flank, thinking that there may be someone going onto the other side of the B, and the read doesn't work. And at the end of the day, Georgia Tech manages to get the round.
Off the rip, Reskop with an op kill, but like you were saying, all the damage Florida Tech did to the economy has allowed them to propel themselves forwards here with this op purchase now. And they're going to be able to hold this site down quite securely with Reskop firmly nested in heaven with the op. Things slow down again. The Satanic's in a nice little crevice here by the Astro Smoke, but does get scanned by the knife. Smoke does get pushed, but he does get out with his life. Enrique back sight. Have to wait for the push. Chocolate does get killed on Satanic. Reskop kill onto Youngfish with the op, and that spike. He does spot one, gets a pot shot through, but doesn't connect. Has to back off here. He's hearing a lot of footsteps towards him, and that's got to be scary when you're holding with just an op. A lot of utility here being used to force Florida Tech players back.
30 seconds left.
Now the question is, does Georgia Tech rotate? Do they decide to stick to the site? Looks like they're going to go for the plant onto the B site. They get the plant down. Reskop misses the shot with the op, but Juzi is there for the trade with the Vandal. Now down to 3v1, and Enrique closes it out. The last kill onto Knowns.
Absolutely amazing job, and as you said at the beginning of the round, Florida Tech did a lot of damage to the economy of Georgia Tech as well. We saw all the Vandals, all the Phantoms going away as they managed to get that one big one at the end of the game, and the only one with an actual rifle was B. Now this time they should be able to get more money, but the operator was managed to be saved from the side of Florida Tech. So we're gonna see that operator back. Maybe we're gonna see a small change. Maybe send it mid or send it B. But as we can see right now, it looks like we're gonna see it back in A.
I agree. The op is really crucial here to Florida Tech's defense plan, and having it on A is so powerful because you can get a quick shot early and just back off into the safe areas of heaven or all the way back in A long. So the op is a really fundamental tool here for Florida Tech to just hold back that aggression. It looks like a lot of pressure here is going to be mid by Georgia Tech. The Florida Tech's going to push out a huge flash here.
remaining.
Satanic and Enrique making
Down
quick
mid.
work of this mid push.
Flawless.
And Sat closes it out. That was a masterful use of util
That was
there.
a massive, amazing use of utility from the side of Fnatic. That push between Breach and Yoru. As I don't know if you remember, but you said this like a couple games ago. Breach Yoru, really good combo. Breach is able to use Yoru's utility as well as Yoru use Breach utility. They have that combo flash and stun. In this case, Yoru just stuns and both of them go out at the same time over the smoke that was put there by Georgia Tech. And at the end of the day, they get the short end of the stick.
Yeah, really strong util there. And like you said, the combination between Yoru and Breach is really powerful. And Reskop with a nasty shot with the op. Kills Unknowns right after he popped the ult. Has gotta hurt.
That
Now
is gotta
Reskop
hurt.
backs up. Gonna play back, try not to get caught out with the op. A lot of smokes being used here. Georgia Tech might try to push towards Heaven, or they might decide to back off.
You know, after that shot, I would back off.
Yeah,
After that shot, I would
for
back
sure.
off.
You gotta be scared of that.
You
op
gotta be
after.
scared. You gotta be scared of the op. It's been there 3 rounds.
And now Sat here in a really comfortable position, right close up. He's gonna hear a rotate. He has backup as well, so a very strong position. And now they're just waiting, trying to wait to see where Georgia Tech is gonna make noise. It looks like Georgia Tech is gonna use that Cosmic Divide onto the A site. Probably pushing up. Ooh, Georgia Tech Chocolate getting a double kill in mid. Juzi can't seem to find where he's coming from and where to trade, and it looks like he's gonna try to sneak towards sewers.
Spike
Really,
planted.
really nice flank here by Juzi. Hopefully it pays out for him. Doesn't get caught off, and Satanic getting a trade. Now it's down to a 3v3. Reskop considering popping out of Heaven. And Juzi gets the one player holding flank. Now Fnatic's gonna burst onto site here. Reskop with a nice silent drop. Lines with
player
Young Fish and
standing.
Mapu each getting a kill. And Satanic Monk cannot hold back Young Fish's swing in Georgia Tech. Another round on the board.
Now they have 2 on the board. Georgia Tech, they managed to get the up. But at the same time, Florida Tech can't buy again. Some of Georgia Tech players cannot. Economy is not on their side. They've lost like 3 rounds in a row. So it's kind of a small disadvantage for them. Now, what can you do as Georgia Tech? What do we want to see from Georgia Tech? Maybe a B push. You have that sage wall. You can cover that sage wall, and then you can push B really nice.
I agree, a B push would be cool to see, but Reskop in a really aggressive position here. Able to abuse this wall, kind of. Oh, and gets the drop onto Mafu. Off the rip. 1 player down for Georgia Tech, and now Florida Tech's getting really aggressive here on the flank. And they basically know it's gotta be B, or it's gotta be mid. And mid's covered by all that KJ util, so it's pretty secure. And here Reskop does come across B, but B does get the kill. Now the numbers are back down 4v4. Some Astra Stars being dropped onto B side. And looks like the Georgia Tech are gonna burst onto site here, onto the B site. The wall is used by Sage. And the plant is gonna go down. Sat getting scanned.
Planted.
Kind of in a difficult position here. Can't really push these smokes. Does spot one. Was waiting for the rest of the team, but Juzi here with the ult. Killjoy trying to push the players off. Ooh, but a beautiful molly there by KO. And a very good flash there. But Sat is able to back off, get a kill. Enrique as well. And now 3v2, but a lot of util here being dumped by the Astra, and time is running low. Sat is going to be here to hold Juzi, and Enrique gets a triple, denying all that post-plant denial by Georgia Tech.
Absolutely amazing job by the side of Florida Tech. We saw that Omen nade trying to get, you know, trying to destroy the lockdown from Killjoy, but it wasn't aimed right. So even though it had the intention, it didn't got it. So everybody was forced to push out of the lockdown, and that's when Florida Tech pushes back and managed to get the picks that they needed. We saw Chaos ult. Chaos ult was supposed to be used a little bit before, so they could prevent the log and all the utility that Fortech was throwing at them. But at the end of the day, they managed to pick off KO. Nobody manages to revive them. Sage did not have ult at the time, and it went into crumbles the attack coming from Georgia Tech. Now, it was a really good push. They managed to get the plant, unlike other rounds, but they don't manage to play really well the post plant.
Yeah, the post plant, there's a lot of potential there. Chocolate, especially with all that Astra util, the just being able to push players off the spike, getting cusses in. But Florida Tech played it masterfully. Enrique especially was playing really strong angles and just able to hold the final push of those Georgia Tech players and just protect the teammate as the spike was being defused. And at the end of the day, the spike is really all that matters when it comes to defending. Now, Florida Tech once again sees the same default Viper wall here on A. But there's a knife mid. So now Florida Tech's gotta be worried about any sort of mid presence that could be coming towards either A ropes or towards B heaven. But B heaven is covered by all that KJ util. So slowed down here. Florida Tech just holding their defensive positions, and now Juzi hears his bots being broken, and now is pretty confident that it's going to be some sort of aggression. And Reskop going crazy with 3 kills, getting the spike, and now the jig is up. Georgia Tech's location's known by Florida Tech, and they know that it's here in Satanic. A really good flank here.
One enemy remaining.
Does get 1 and 2 to close the round out. Some heroic plays here by some of the Florida Tech players.
Absolutely. We saw Georgia Tech not having enough money to buy to get a full buy or a partial buy. So they go with pistols. They try to get these dead ball coming in from mid. But Florida Tech reads the play because of the kill of Juicy's utility in mid. When the utility gets broken, that's your cue. You know where they are. You throw your hawks from the side of Sat, and then basically you know all the information. Florida Tech has managed to get 3 picks. One person manages to get 3 picks, and then that round's over.
I must agree, Florida Tech's awareness of positions, of all the util coming through, is working out really well, and they're able to read perfectly where Georgia Tech is going to be headed. A little skirmish here happening between Enrique Sat here in the choke point of B, but they decide to back off, and Juzi and Reskop also getting kills. A trade coming through.
Shadows traveling.
Now Reskop might go for another peek. Nope, just decides to back off, and all the players are getting comfortable in their positions. And another KO knife mid. Young Fish does get the res onto Chocolate, and now Florida Tech must be worried about the mid position.
Shadows traveling.
Such difficult part of mid is that they can go anywhere. They can go B, they can go A, and B is where they decide to go. Enrique with a last minute TP to get out. Wait for the team to rotate. And Reskop uses his ult to get a cross sight with a really strong flank here. Will Georgia Tech be aware of Reskop's position? He is spotted, but now there's so much pressure from so many different angles. He's gonna hold the flash. He does use it. Enrique also pushing with the flash with kill onto Young Fish. Satanic getting a kill onto Chocolate. And Enrique with a beautiful headshot onto Unknowns. Bringing us up to a 7-2 scoreboard.
Really good play by Florida Tech, knowing their advantage, knowing how to push back, getting those picks. We saw Enrique getting that good pick on Sage, having that game knowledge that she could be hiding behind the wall. And when Enrique picks past the wall, he is looking for Young Fish. And at the end of the day, he gets the kill, and then it goes downhill from there.
Yeah, a lot of really strong just plays here by Florida Tech. They're playing off of each other really well. Their util has been on point. Especially those blinds coming from both Enrique and Reskop. Just catching so many players off guard, getting so much value, and always getting at least 1. Reskop with some quick damage here on A main. Enrique also getting a skirmish here happening in mid.
Reloading.
Once again, Georgia Tech really likes making pressure mid and then deciding to split for a different area. Reskop does suspect a player is in that corner based on off of those pings and decides to tuck. Still a lot of fighting happening mid. Sat does get a blind here into mid. Knows there's at least one player still in mid. And Sat with a beautiful wall bang here onto Young Fish. Reskop also still fighting here in A main, but B does get a kill onto Juzi, narrowing things down to a 4v4. Reskop decides to throw a smoke there. Allows him to kind of get some pressure off of that angle. And Sat's alone here on B. There's a lot of footsteps and util being thrown around him. Pretty confident and a beautiful wallbang here again onto Mafu. Uses the Seekers but gets killed by Chocolate. Enrique in his ult spots B and Satanic Monk is able to get the trade. And now the plant is going in last minute.
One enemy remaining.
Satanic with a kill onto Chocolate. 2v1 here. 4th floor attack. A beautiful blind by Enrique and an amazing tracking there by Enrique to get the kill onto Unknowns despite the updraft.
Amazing job by Enrique using the flashes not only to flash the player from Georgia Tech, but also to get the push, to intimidate, to make the player from Georgia Tech turn around, get his back, and then just push him. Really, really good job from the side of Georgia Tech. And again, we're seeing that 3 players from Georgia Tech do not have enough economy to get those weapons. One of them has, but at the end of the day, it's just the money battle, you know?
Yeah, Tech is definitely here getting a strong economic advantage, getting a lot of rounds on the board. They're kind of snowballing out of control. But I think Georgia Tech can make another round work here, especially with the knives here by Unknowns. Might be able to get almost a full buy. Enrique and Reskop making a lot of pressure here all the way out. I think this is really smart by them. They're aware that Georgia Tech likes pushing mid and choosing one site to go for a full push, so they decide to take a gamble, make some pressure, just get so much space here, and they know Georgia Tech can't be anywhere near them, and they get a... Oh my goodness, the trigger discipline. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, Enrique!
I thought he was going to go for the knife.
That's a BM. That's a BM.
Okay, he kind of deserved that.
Yeah.
Unknowns gets the kill with the knives, down to 4v4. But Enrique is still in the strong spot, but is spotted here and has to run. And Unknowns is going to be following him with the knives. Enrique might try to make a play work here. Will Unknowns be ready for it?
That we're ever gonna see Enrique Yoru cloning some people.
Oh, I would love
30
to see a
seconds
fake Yoru clone. But looks like they're hearing sounds onto the A site. And they're going to go for the rotate here. Probably going to give site to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech probably going to get the plant down, and Tech just waiting for a retake as a team. This Rolling Thunder might come in here. Yep, and there goes Rolling Thunder. Juzi also bursting onto site through heaven. Enrique, Juzi, Sat all bursting onto site, getting kills one by one, and closing the round out. Gonna go into a 9-2.
Amazing push for Florida Tech. Waiting to get that rich Rolling Thunder. And basically Satanic Mon does the play, gets the picks, and then everybody bursts in and like get all those kills. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, I think you put it quite nicely. Waiting for the team to regroup and push with that Rolling Thunder made a huge difference. Just gave them so much, just the ability to run onto site with the entire team concussed, and that shows how strong Breach is on this map. There's so many areas that he can just Rolling Thunder and just seclude every single player, as well as all these short range corners. It looks like Reskop might consider an op, doesn't go for it. And this is the last round and a half.
We also saw that BM from the side of Florida Tech trying to get the kill, trying to get the knife kills, but at the end of the day, Enrique gets the kill.
Powerless.
I would have loved to see the knife.
we all love seeing a knife, but it feels so bad when that happens. Looks like Georgia Tech is going towards B. They drop a wall. They drop the Viper's Pit, and Spike goes down. They're playing really quick, but huge spamming here going through by Sat and by Juzi, and it's down to 4v2. But Sat is so weak here. A sliver of health, and looks like Florida Tech is just gonna go for an all-out push.
One enemy remaining.
And they managed to find all the Georgia Tech players in the corner and close it out with a 10-2 half.
Wow. Wow. We're looking at some amazing things from the side of Florida Tech. You know, it kind of makes me want to go and pow.
Switching sides.
Never show weak.
A lot of strong util here by Florida Tech. And Georgia Tech showing a lot of promise, a lot of really strong util in the post plan as well, but they're losing so many players early on that they just can't hold on for those post plans. Florida Tech just getting all the picks, and I'm loving the aggression here by Florida Tech. Florida Tech is realizing that Georgia Tech is not making a lot of split pushes and not a lot of defaults, so they're like, all this space that you want to give to us, we'll take it.
Yeah, now we can see that the difference in setups from the side of from both sides. In the past half we had Florida Tech defending with that killjoy, like holding a side. Now we cannot see that same killjoy because we don't have a sentinel that can hold sides. And the wall is probably gonna be put in like either B, trying to cover any angle, or A, to like prevent like entrance to mid.
Looks like Florida Tech gets the first pick here. Enrique getting the kill onto B, and Unknowns does get the trade though onto Enrique, but Reskop did get an ult orb, and I really like that. The Viper orb by Georgia Tech did provide some good defensive use, but Florida Tech took advantage of that and was able to grab that orb, and now Florida Tech's gonna burst onto B site, but Chocolate got a kill off the rip. Now Satanic Monk does manage to spot, I believe that was Chocolate, getting a couple shots in, but now Satanic getting tucked into a really strong post plant spot under Heaven. Sat gonna dog out, trying to get more information. Florida Tech has to hunt a pick here, and Satanic does get a pick, and it narrows things down. A kill and a trade going through, and now still even 2v2, but Sat is hearing the footsteps. Reskop with a kill, Chocolate with a trade, and now 1v1 here. Sat has to make something happen. A couple of shots here, a couple warning shots. And will Chocolate be sticking it? He will not. It's halved though. Sat has to play here for time. And gets the kill, and that was a close round here, but Florida Tech runs away with it nonetheless.
Really close run. Georgia Tech managed to get the picks after Florida Tech gets the first kill, and they managed to kind of defend a bit, but then the push without any utility into side. Let's remember, Viper wasted all her utility defending A side. Sorry, and now when they move to B side, Viper is not able to lay those venom pits or the smoke or the wall, and then at the end of the day, Florida Tech manages to get the
Yeah, and some quick action here off the rip onto A side. Kills coming in by both sides, but Florida Tech ends up ahead by one player. Their Bulldogs really playing strong here. Satanic with a triple now. And that gun advantage is everything here. They decide to go for a lot of Heaven aggression. And looks like they'll get a free site to plant. Yep, there goes the plant. And now they're all getting comfy and a lot of just post-plant angles. Satanic in a really nice spot here. He knows Reskop can hold his back, so he's able to just hold, and Satanic goes for the fourth. Chocolate, I love the vision, the recall. Recalling that smoke, getting across, but Satanic was ready for it.
Trying to bait the smoke, trying to get like as much as possible from the smoke. But as we saw last round, Georgia Tech spent money. We saw from some Spectres, we saw some Stingers, and now look at the economy. Economy is match. But Florida Tech has the guns. They have the range advantage. This should be a free round from Florida Tech in their bonus round, meaning that next round from Florida Tech is gonna be last round. This is gonna be the last round.
Yeah, if Florida Tech gets this round, it's GG. But Georgia Tech decide to gamble, decide to go all in with the gun buys last round. It's going to hurt this round, but still going to be relatively even, all things considered, in terms of guns. But Georgia Tech has to put their all here to stay in the game. Florida Tech decides to burst onto site. Very good molly there to delay the spike plant, but still goes down. And the entirety of Florida Tech is here on site for the post plant. Reskop with the first kill of the round, and Sat following suit with the Guardian kill.
I know it's a 4v3 in the last round of the game.
Yeah, Florida Tech getting comfy in the back, but two flankers. Chocolate does get killed. Does get a kill, sorry. And Young Fish as well. 3v2, Enrique gets Chocolate, and it's down to just Young Fish, and that is a team ace.
Wow, what a game from the side of Florida Tech.
Real quick match there. A lot of rapid pushes, a lot of really strong utility here by Florida Tech. And yeah, very promising here to start off for the series for Florida Tech. And Georgia Tech had a lot of strong vision, a lot of strong ideas, but could not execute against Florida Tech's defense.
They had good ideas. They lack a structure. They lack that post play, post plants and retakes. They did not manage to get all the information that they needed. They did not manage to play the post plant, and at the end of the day, that's where Florida Tech gets them. They had the Satanic monks ult, the Rolling Thunder, to play the post plant. They had all that utility from the side of Killjoy, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. You get the bomb, and you get the win.
Yeah, you can get as many kills as you want, but the bomb is all that matters. And here we're going to go into a quick break as the team's ready up for their next game, and we'll see you guys in just a few.
To Florida Tech versus Georgia Tech Blue. Now we are in heaven. Completely different map, but similar compositions. We're gonna see really similar compositions. This time we're gonna exchange that Yoru probably for a Jet. We're gonna have Killjoy again, Sky again, Breach again. Now, what is the last one? What do you wanna see at the end?
Ideally, the strongest pick here on Haven, probably Omen. But Reskop looks like he might be feeling a little frisky here. He's having a lot of funky picks. I'm looking forward to seeing what he goes for. But yeah, overall, there's a lot of strong picks here already on the side of Florida Tech. Satanic Monks Breach played phenomenally last game. And here on Haven, it might be even stronger. Just so many strong areas that he can, stun. He can go for just so much util through the walls without ever putting himself in danger. We're seeing Sat again on the Sky. Love to see it. And Juzi, of course, on the KJ. And once again, a really strong pick here on this map. KJ is definitely the strongest sentinel in the meta at the current.
And we're going to see that Brimstone from the side of Florida Tech again. Brimstone with the ult, really good to play upside, especially considering that A and B are really small. C is a little bit bigger, but you can manage to get those pushes with the you can manage to get the push with the Brimstone ult, or get the post plant, or get or clear outside.
Enemy breach.
This map, as you said, Killjoy,
There goes my good day.
best sentinel in the game right now. Basically all her utility can do wonders. We're waiting for that nerf again. The turret can hold the side along with the alarm bot. If you get like if you anchor in C, you can cover garage, and long C, and then just basically stay in B, like rotate around. The turret is the sixth player, you know.
Yeah, the turret's really strong on this map. Like you said, there's some really strong garage positions that you can't even hit the turret. It's just so strong. But I will say, I do love Cypher on this map as well. There's so many small choke points where those trips come and use you, and even a couple little ratty cages, some one ways. So looking forward to seeing any sort of spicy plays here by Cypher. And for a tech, love rapid aggression towards A, and Enrique taking contact really quickly here. And so low HP, but looks like Fortech is deciding to go all in on C. But
Enemy spotted C.
site is going to be free, but there's a lot of pressure coming from garage, coming from grass, so Flirtech has to be very aware of this. Still going to get the plant down, and no one's killed yet.
Out of charges.
Players just playing back here on the pistol round. Enrique decides to go for a little flank here, trying to get through B.
Covering that flank from the side of Georgia Tech.
For sure. He might actually get a flank onto them. He does hear the Sova dart. A nice shot there by Enrique. 2 kills, but Youngfish also getting 2 onto site. Now it's Youngfish versus the world. Flirtech has so much time already on the bomb, and Reskop getting the last kill, and first round of the map goes
And again,
Flirtech.
we're seeing that explosion from the side of Tech. They test sites, they go to A, they see that there's a lot of people covering there, and then in the spark of the moment they say, oh, there's 2 people here. That means that because they saw us, they're gonna rotate here faster. So let's send Satanic, let's send Reskop, let's send Juzi, let's send all of that utility to get C, to secure the site, to get a plant, maybe get a peek, and then getting that post plant.
Yeah, Haven is the map of mind games. Knowing which site has one player makes a huge deal, because these sites, there's 3 of them, and there's only 5 players on defense. So there's bound to be one site that's weaker than the other, and once you find that, you gotta take advantage. And Flirtech found the site, found C, encouraged some rotates by making a lot of noise onto A, and just got a free site. And looks like here they found C is once again the weaker site, able to get a quick plant, and now they're just holding already for the post plant. A lot of spams through the smokes, especially with their strong guns, and Enrique and Reskop each getting a kill. Enrique even in a nice little spot here on top of the boxes, and there's already so little time left on the bomb. Flirtech's explosiveness really paying off here.
One enemy remaining.
Reskop and Enrique getting one. Enrique a little worried there, getting shot in the feet, but does manage to get out. Now Flirtech, knowing that there's no time, gets out of sight. He gets to save all these guns that they purchased. And Chocolate does the right call economically. Dying to spike is the correct choice there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as we saw, Enrique going from that brave buy, getting that bundle second round, spending nothing on utility, but at the same day, he gets it. He gets it. He gets those peaks. He survives. He's managed to keep the bundle, and now he's gonna fight rifle against rifle in a round where he shouldn't have enough.
I agree. I love when duelists go for the second round Vandal. Duelists, the role is to get space primarily, and obviously get kills, but with the Vandal, you're able to get so much space so early because it's just so much more powerful than all the other guns. And now Enrique, like you said, gets to go into the next round with the Vandal against other Vandals. It looks like Flirtech making a lot of noise here into sewers, into A long. They're still feeling it out, haven't committed to the site, but now looks like they might be reconsidering a push and deciding. A couple players still watching flank, but they are going to commit to this, it looks like. Slowly clearing all the angles, cutting noise. Now, Georgia Tech's gotta be wondering, are they still here? Or are they rotating? They've seen a lot of rotates by Florida Tech just in these two rounds. And so they're probably worried. Florida Tech just waiting for the opportune moment to just burst onto site. Juzi waits for the stun, goes for the peek, but gets killed. And there's two players, and Florida Tech's got to be sweating. Two players in sewers, that's a worrisome situation to be in for sure. But they had the spike down, and it's still a 4v4. Enrique gets a kill. Down to 4v3. Heaven's mollied, and just Florida Tech can just play back here.
They gotta be careful. They gotta be careful. They gotta cover from the flank. They only saw 2 players.
One enemy remaining.
And it looks like all the players get killed as they burst onto site. Really well played there by Florida Tech.
And this was a round that Florida Tech was not supposed to win. But as we saw, they managed to get in the mind games. As you said, this map Haven really about mind games. Florida Tech pushes really hard into A side and then back off. But that's what they want Georgia Tech to think. But at the end of the day, they were just slow pushing, getting as much advantage as possible, gaining a bit of space, like little by little. And at the end of the day, they say, okay, they saw Killjoy, they killed Killjoy, let's burst into side.
That's for sure. Florida Tech playing a lot of really smart decisions. Some rounds going for the rotate, and that round they decide to stick to the site, and it worked out perfectly. Now here, Florida Tech get a lot of kills early on. Sat and Enrique each getting at least one, and now the site's just free. Enrique dashing up and updrafting onto site, and Florida Tech has the whole map as their playground now, as only 2 players are left for Georgia Tech. What can they do here? Reskop, though,
enemy remaining.
still on site, and Enrique is just going on a killing spree here. Space, and they find Young Fish on C, and a flawless round here for Florida Tech.
And as you said, there was that was a good cipher cable that Reskop finds. But at the end of the day, if you have the utility but you don't have the weapons, you don't have the positioning, there's no point in like having all that information.
Yeah. That, for sure, once you start running out of players, running out of utility, there's not much you can do on defense. But look at this, Enrique with a 10-0. He is really feeling himself this game.
He's Mr. Money, man.
Get all the kills, all the rounds, and now going in with the knives. Gets a really nice shot there with the knives. Enrique's just having a ball here. Mafu does get a kill onto Sat. But Satanic gets the trade. Spike is already planted, and Florida Tech's already in a strong post-find position. Reskop with a kill gets the flanker, and now just once again 4v2. 4v2 previous round, 4v2 this round, and Enrique's on site. Here's the footstep, but that smoke doesn't have the bomb covered fully.
One enemy remaining.
Satanic killing one. And Enrique knows exactly where he is, getting the final kill with the knives.
Enrique doing an amazing job holding sides, managing to get those peaks, getting that entry. That's the duelist that I want on my team when I'm playing Ryan.
Exactly. It's not only about the kills, it's about making space, going in, disrupting the defense, and Enrique is just flying majestically onto these sides.
Getting those peaks, absolutely amazing job from Enrique.
Right there.
Using the smoke on top of a generator to get all that space. That's the duelist that we need.
Exactly. That is what you should strive for as a duelist. And now Enrique's just gonna keep going. Little funky little dash up there, little pirouette, trying to get out of the way of the dart. And now Florida Tech decides to fall down. A little miscommunication there with the bird.
Our spike carrier's down.
Unknowns flanking with a double kill with the knives. Sat killing Chocolate, but Unknowns is on a tear, just taking Florida Tech apart from the back. Sat finally shuts that down, but is stuck in a 1v3 situation. Doesn't have spike, knows where it is though. Gets another kill. Almost gets the 4th.
Really close.
Georgia Tech Blue gets around on the board.
Gets around on the board, 5-1 now. But Look at that. Florida Tech has money to buy everything. They can buy the shop right now and they will still like have enough money. Now that Georgia Tech manages to got the momentum of Florida Tech getting those 5 rounds in a row, what do you think? Do you think they can? Do you think they can make it? Do you think they can get those peaks again? We saw the Jet playing more aggressive, playing again like what Enrique is doing, gaining space, getting those peaks, and at the end of the day, that's what like boosts Georgia Tech for the round.
I must agree. I think I like the change in plan here by Georgia Tech, deciding to get more aggressive, especially with that ult. And those kills just disrupt Florida Tech's backline so much that they're just able to run away with the round. And now we're back into a little stalemate here. Florida Tech going for a bit of a defaulty play, feeling out all the different sides. It looks like they're leaning towards A with the spike, and with Enrique here in this strong position up in sewers, just continuously making space. No footsteps have been made, so still just playing silently here.
Smoke's down.
And looks like they're a burst onto site here with Sad's Bird and a bunch of other so being dropped here.
Reloading.
Spamming coming through. They do know Sova's Heaven. And looks like they're going for plants. Satanic and Reskop each getting a kill. But the Hunter's Fury is going to be popped here on the Georgia Tech side, trying to deny that plate for just further. And Sat goes for a slightly different plant.
And a bit of a not planned spot.
Not the most uncommon for sure, but it is not the most common either. Planting ammo box gives you some nice little lines of sight.
And look at Satanic Monk waiting for that Sova arrow to hit.
Yeah.
So he can just shoot at it.
Definitely disciplined, very used to playing on this map. And look, he had the
One
read.
enemy remaining.
Enrico with the double kill headshot.
Absolutely beautiful round from Florida Tech. They managed to win those mind games again. They managed to get all that. Hey, we're here, come for us. But at the end of the day, like, at the end, Georgia Tech do not fall for it, and by not falling for it, they fail for it. I don't know if you're getting me. If you're picking up what I'm throwing down.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down. I think Florida Tech is here just getting kind of so much momentum, and I think also we mentioned that one dart there at the end that Satanic Monk was ready for. I think that really shows how drilled they are, how disciplined they are on this map. They obviously have a lot of preparation. If you're ready for that dart, you play this map a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. Knowing where those lineups come from, knowing like what to do, knowing where to put your utility. We saw Sad planting in an unusual spot.
There.
That unusual spot was due to the Hunter's Fury. They knew that Soba had ult. They knew that Mafu was gonna ult as soon as he heard like the planting cue, and he was like, "No, I'm just taking the spike over here, planting here safe, and getting the plant, moving away, playing for bomb."
I totally agree. Florida Tech's adaptability here has been on point. Just being able to adapt onto the fly to all the disruption, and the Hunter's Fury especially, and just playing so, like I said, so drilled and yet so flexible to everything this map can throw at you. Looks like they're going towards A again. And with the first blood of this round. Kill, and Rolling Thunder is going to be used here by Satanic Monk. And Florida Tech is going to be able to burst on the site there as Mafu's stuck onto site, concussed. And now back down to a 5v3. Florida Tech is just getting all these advantages every single round, this numbers advantages, and just holding these sites. And
One
Juzi
enemy
getting
remaining.
another, Enrique as well. Sorry, Enrique. And now, flawless round for Florida Tech.
Absolutely amazing. And this time Georgia Tech did not have any money to get like those buys, and Florida Tech knows this. So they say, well, they don't have money. We don't even need to fake it. Let's just push it. They managed to get the push. They use the Rolling Thunder, Satanic Monk, amazing use of the ultimate, and then they get the pick on the Soba. They get the pick on the Cypher, and they burst into sight, getting that plant again in that unusual spot. Why? Because Georgia Tech did not see the spot. They don't know where the bomb is. They don't know where to send the lineups.
I agree that, once again, Florida Tech deciding to go for a little funky spot makes a huge difference when you're trying to play any sort of lineups. But Unknown's off the rip gets a kill. So this might be Georgia Tech's round of redemption here, as they also are probably on a full buy.
Scout destroyed.
Sat doesn't get to see any information. There's just too many smokes up. And looks like Florida Tech is going for a C push. Sat was just there to distract. And looks like C might just fully be ready. Reskop does see the shock dart coming through the smoke, decides to go for a spam, but doesn't catch anyone.
Dim beacon here.
And now Florida Tech going to be able to get the strong pose-on position, and Rolling Thunder being used by Georgia Tech, but doesn't catch anyone. Florida Tech's already gone. Already has all their mollies on site, and has the Brimstone util here. Probably has a molly lineup as well. Here's the tap, and there he goes. Goes for the ult, the lineup. Sat with a beautiful flank, does only get one though. The Unknowns hitting some really nice shots here onto a 3K. And now Florida Tech's kind of out of options here in terms of util.
Last player
Oh,
standing.
the smoke comes down at the worst possible time, but Reskop almost heroic, getting a couple more kills, and there's no time. B does not get the plant, and Reskop with the clutch, pushing Florida Tech towards an 8-1 lead.
And again, we see Florida Tech falling down to the old days, getting that push into A, baiting the push, baiting the utilities, and then at the end of the day, they say no. We just send some people onto C. We know nobody's there. We know if Cypher's there, we can just push it away with Brimstone ult, with Breach's ult, and we saw Satanic Monk using those flashes, using those Breach's charges, and then using the explosion thing in the back of C. Basically getting all that information, and at the end of the day, they managed to get a plant really easy.
I gotta agree, Florida Tech is definitely winning the mind games, deciding to go twice in a row towards A and then switch it up with a C push makes a huge difference. Sat is so deep here. Look how far he is. They already have 2 kills on the board here for Florida Tech, and they're just so confident here. Young Fish though with a shotgun kill. And B also getting a kill, but Satanic getting a trade.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, Enrique almost caught out. A little shake of the head there. You're not gonna get me today with the shotgun. My teammates got my back, and Satanic Monk with a 3K closes it out.
And again, we see a desperate Georgia Tech buying as much as they can, but not having enough money. We see that a couple players can get a full buy, full utility this round, and this is what you don't want to see if you're from the side of Georgia Tech. You don't want to see a Florida Tech full armed, even satisfying a shotgun.
I think that was just for the memes.
Yeah, 100%. That is just for the memes.
But yeah, Georgia Tech trying to get something done with their limited buy, but not able to accomplish much. Florida Tech just has so much momentum, snowballing out of control, and Florida Tech has just decided we have such a strong lead. We're just gonna play really confidently, just keep taking space wherever we want to, and they've just been pushing out aggressively. And we try to pass the drone here, doesn't make it out. Does go for a little spam though, but Mafu with first blood of the round onto Sat. Now Florida Tech push is kind of halted. Couple more kills coming, one from B, one from Reskop. And now Florida Tech in the numbers disadvantage. Usually we're seeing them in the numbers advantage, but now Georgia Tech might be playing it safe here now that they have that number advantage. Florida Tech regrouping. Juzi one ult orb away from ult though. Probably gonna try to get a kill, but Young Fish is here, and Satanic gets the trade. Now Florida Tech loses the opportunity for the killjoy, and Mafu gets the kill. Another kill here coming from Mafu, and another round on the board for Georgia Tech.
Really good play by Mafu right there, holding the side, knowing about Florida Tech mind games. They say like, no, they're not pushing onto C, they're not changing sides, they're gonna re-push A. So I'm just gonna hold back, wait for getting more info, and as soon as Cypher dies, Mafu says, okay, it's Florida Tech's time to just push. I'll just get as much time as possible. Even though he was concussed, he gets the kill, and then kill behind kill, and then
I gotta agree, Mafu played extraordinarily well there that round, playing perfectly based off of the kills, utility being dropped, knowing when to push back site, when to hold, and now Florida Tech just bursting onto site. Enrique with the knives, And the orbital strike here coming in from Reskop. Hunter's Fury trying to deny the plant, but doesn't deny in time, especially with that Killjoy lockdown coming in by Florida Tech. Plant does go down. Now Florida Tech are going to try to get into a comfortable post plant, but Sat has a nice little angle here in garage, but Satanic already dealing with the flanker. Does get a kill through the smoke. And now down to a 3v1, but Sat is here for the trade back site. Florida Tech with another round on the board for the half.
And we get a good half from the side of Florida Tech. Absolutely amazing job in the attack. Now let's see what they do in defense. Let's remember, this Killjoy does wonders on defense. She can do amazing things if she holds C and B together. And look at the map. We see Killjoy probably putting that turret in garage.
And there it is.
There we go, the turret in garage, the unkillable turret in garage. And then getting that alarm bot probably like in mid, getting that alarm bot in B, or moving it, or even moving it up to C.
Yeah, the Killjoy utility here is going to be very difficult to pass through. A lot of times players, they come across the Killjoy utility and say nope, and decide to go run another way. So Florida Tech definitely going to have a strong defensive half, and I'd love to see Georgia Tech here go for more aggressive plays. They saw a couple rounds where those aggressive plays saw success, but Florida Tech has just been crazy with their shots here. Enrique, nice shot with the Sheriff.
Right there.
And the Sheriff is just a laser beam. Reskop from the flank gets a nice little pick and backs up. Doesn't have a lot of help to play with, but Florida Tech knows where most of the players from Georgia Tech are.
Absolutely beautiful headshot from the part of Enrique.
I gotta agree. Enrique there hitting a beautiful shot. Looks like it's gonna be a B plant here. Going in for Georgia Tech. But Juzi's ready with the classic, getting a double kill. That gun's free gun, by the way.
Free gun. And they get the last pick. Sat gets the last pick, and that's the round for Florida Tech.
You blink and suddenly there's no one left. Florida Tech getting pistol.
As we saw, Florida Tech is really good at playing retake. They are really good at getting those picks, those initial picks. Enrique playing really aggressive as the duelist that we need. 23. Look at that.
That's quite the KDA.
That's quite the KDA. And again, Juzi doesn't need to get the kills. Juzi needs to hold sights. Needs to get as much information as possible. Always remember, the Sentinel, the Killjoy does not only manage to hold sight, but they also manage to get information. That's really good coming from a Sentinel, and they cannot hold. They cannot get those flanks if they don't know where they come from.
I gotta agree that Sentinel being able to get information is such a huge ability here, and I think that's why Chamber's kind of fallen out of meta as well. Obviously his guns got nerfed, but the trip is now just not it can't hold the flank from across side like it used to. So this is why Killjoy is just such a favorable pick, and Juzi really showing it in full force here. But now Florida Tech down a player as Georgia Tech has just made contact and has disappeared off the radar here. Florida Tech doesn't know where they are, but they have all sites kind of covered, but only an alarm bot holding B. Looks like it's going to be an A push here by Georgia Tech. A lot of utility being dropped, and Mafu getting another kill here onto Satanic Monk, and they're starting to pick up all these guns on the floor.
Spike planted.
Enrique trying to get some pot shots out of heaven. Does catch the Cypher off guard, getting a shot, but not enough to kill him. Now Florida Tech just waiting to regroup and play for a large retake push here. Reskop and Juge pushing out. Reskop catching one off guard, but Mafu does get killed. Mafu with a triple now. Reskop, a lot of running gun coming from both sides, but Youngfish closes the round off, and Georgia Tech with another round on the board.
Now we see this time Georgia Tech playing the man games. We see a really late push from the side of Georgia Tech into A side, and Florida Tech doesn't manage to hold on side, and when they manage to enter, they they managed to get a couple peaks, and then that's when Georgia Tech like says, okay, we just gotta play for the spike.
Right there.
Keep up.
And they play for the spike, they get the round.
Here. Turret out.
I agree. Georgia Tech there, very good mind game, and once, like you said, they got the spike, and then they're holding up really well, and with a little head dig, but doesn't manage to make anything happen. And wow, that was probably the quickest round I've seen so far. Florida Tech decided to go for a really aggressive push,
We know what we're doing.
being on such an
Trust
economic
each other and
disadvantage, trying to make something happen. But Georgia Tech was ready for it and shut it down with their guns.
Yeah, as you said, Florida Tech was in the economic disadvantage. They tried to close out close out the range as much as possible, and that is when Georgia Tech said, okay,
Here.
you come to me, you die.
Find the weak point.
I must say I like Georgia Tech's
Here.
play there. Just playing it slow. They hadn't committed by the time that Florida Tech had made their aggression. And maybe they knew, maybe they were posted ready for something like that, but either way, it worked out. Enrique with another
Healing over
beautiful
here.
shot. Enrique's first bloods must be through the roof here, getting so many nice shots onto the long and just dashing out, and that's showing just the prowess of Jet.
Hawk out.
And look at that beautiful glowing knife with the champion skin. Looks like an enemy is spotted C, as you could hear by the comms, but Florida Tech kind of has that site on lockdown with 2 players holding it, and Satanic is in garage. Now things have slowed down. Noise has been cut by
Launching
both
smoke.
teams, and everyone's just waiting for the first step to be played. A Sova dart onto A. Florida Tech now knows it's likely an A push, and Sat's there. Here's a lot of footsteps calling to his team.
I'm out of stuff.
Young Fish though
Spike planted.
with a kill, and that kill was B. Young Fish
I
with
know
a
exactly
flank and uses the neural theft. Be able to scan all Florida
eyes are
Tech
down.
players. Juzi with the kill, Unknown with the trade, and Mafu as well. That one way coming in huge. But Enrique with another beautiful shot with the
Enemy
Vandal.
spotted A.
Now Juzi
One enemy remaining.
push out to sight. The turret gets the kill,
Last player
and
standing.
Enrique gets a beautiful reaction flick onto
Oh, they
Chocolate.
tried.
Enrique's gotta be the match MVP.
For sure. Enrique has been playing
Enrique has been playing out of his mind.
Important.
Absolutely amazing pushes, the usage of the ultimate, the usage of the dashes,
Match
the
point.
smokes, all the information that he gathers, all the space that he gets, the first peaks, the first bloods. Those are what move Florida Tech around.
I agree. Enrique has definitely been doing work here for Florida Tech. Like you said, getting those first picks creates a number advantage. Getting all those beautiful shots, and not to mention,
Go out, would
Enrique
you?
will make space
Go out,
on
would
his
you?
own, and then play back with the team when it's necessary. That makes a huge difference. Having a duelist that knows the limits, knows when to play on their own, and knows when to play as a team. And Enrique is just doing phenomenally here. Now, a stun does go through long. Enrique has the knives, but decides to back off, playing with his teammate here. Like I said, knowing when to play. But Reskop with the judge kill onto Young Fish in garage, and that's such a difficult position to push into with a judge. Definitely a scary spot to be if you're not ready for such a judge. And now Reskop, after getting the kill, just playing it slow.
Enemy
Lot of-
spotted mid.
Util still being used here by Florida Tech, trying to figure out where the players are.
One
Juzi
down.
gets a timing onto Chocolate. That could have been devastating for Florida Tech if Chocolate had made it through, but Juzi holding that angle ready for it. And now Florida Tech has decided that they're going to get a little bit more aggressive here on the angle. They do catch someone. Sat does get a kill.
Spike
Mafu
down A.
with the trade. And now they know Mafu's in that area, in that vicinity, and Enrique decides to play off. Reskop still has ult, still has Molly, and
30
things
seconds
are looking
left.
dire here for Georgia Tech. 4v2 situation on match point,
On game point.
and game point, serious point.
One enemy remaining.
Huge weight on the shoulders of B and Mafu, but Enrique does get killed. Mafu getting a trade. Now it's a 1v4, and so much
10
util is going to be
seconds
dumped here. The Killjoy
Open up the
ult,
sky.
Reskop with the orbital strike, and Juzi
That's
closing
game
out.
for Florida Tech.
GG's all around.
GG's.
Florida Tech showing some really strong team play, really strong usage, and let's not forget Enrique went crazy that game.
Absolutely. Enrique getting the team off his shoulders. But at the end of the day, it's Florida Tech's win. They managed to get all those picks. They managed to get all those retakes. Florida Tech were really well organized, and that's what we want to see from the team.
I gotta agree. Even looking at the first map split, Florida Tech just had so much strong team play, so many good trades, so much utility combination. Remember, we saw a Yoru and a Breach, and it worked phenomenally based off of their strong team play and just they're obviously very drilled based off of how they played on both these maps. So big props to Florida Tech. And Georgia Tech, we saw a lot of promise. We saw a lot of skill coming in from individual players. Mafu, Unknowns, for example, both of them had some really good plays. But at the end of the day, the cohesiveness was not as strong as that of Florida Tech.
Absolutely. Georgia Tech had the ideas, but they lacked the structure. They like the post plan. They lacked how the game was played. They knew the factors, but they didn't know the order. They used to get like the plans, but they didn't know how to play the retakes, or they got the retake, but they didn't got the plan at the end of the day, and it's really hard for Georgia Tech to get into sites, especially with those compositions where when Unknown did not got the space that Enrique was opening.
Exactly, Enrique showing us how it's done here on Jet, and that's going to be it for today.
So congrats to both teams, GG's, and you can catch us again tomorrow at 8 p.m. With our junior varsity team at Rocket League versus Southern Mississippi.
Hope to see you guys there.
Hope to see you guys there.
Have a good one.